Hello, good day. So, still our topic is a continuation of our new Government Accounting System 103 or Government Accounting 103. So, it's phase 2 because we would be tackling some of the features of the new Government Accounting or NGAS. So, let's proceed. So, our learning objectives for this topic is number 1, to be able to identify the basic features and policies employed in the governments. Next, to be able to identify the methods for each assets accounts of the government. So, yun yung mga matututunan natin for this video. Okay, so we have tackled the basic features and policies of the government. So, number 1, we have the two money column trial balance. So, the government still practice the two column trial balance, which means, for example, if you have the income statement, there would be, or an adjusted trial balance, there would be one column for the debit and one column for the credit. Kasi in some cases, we could combine them, wherein all the accounts that would have a debit balance would show up as positive, and those accounts that have a negative balance would show as negative. Yun yung mga one money column. But normally, ang ginagamit din naman natin sa mga private or dun sa mga books natin would be the normal two-column trial balance that would contain the debit and credit kasi mas madali natin siya maiintindihan. Next, we also have the allotment and obligation. This account is unique to the government kasi sa private wala tayong tinatawag na allotment and obligation. So, ano ba yung allotment? So, allotment is an authorization issued by the DBM or the Department of Budget to an agency through agency budget matrix or special allotment release order, which allow the latter to incur obligation for a specified amounts contained in a legislative appropriation. So, yung allotment, kung maalala nyo, di ba, in the government, you would normally hear budget hearing. So, under the budget hearing, yung mga ma-earn or yung projected earnings ng government, ito-chunk yun to the different agency. So, ito yung mga tinatawag nating subsidy para makapag-work din yung mga government agency na wala namang kinikita or funded by the government itself, katulad ng COA, ng NHA. So, yung mga fina-fund ng government, kailangan nila ng allotment. Kasi kung yung allotment, yun yung magbibigay sa kanila ng authorization so that they would be able to transact with the other party or dun sa mga private para nang sa ganun, meron silang pangbayad. So, meaning magkakaroon na sila ng release na sinasabi ng government na kapag nakipag-transact yan sa inyo, babayaran namin. So, yun yung tinatawag nating agency budget matrix. Ano naman yung SARO or yung the Special Allotment Release Order? So, meron kasing mga items na hindi siya nasasama sa General Appropriation Act. So, sa General Appropriation Act, ito yung mga usual or activities na mga binabayaran ni government. So, si SARO normally pertains to the capital outlay or additional release kapag kakulang yung na-release sa kanila ng government. Like, for example, nung nagkaroon ng mga calamity, there would be a special allotment release order para sa mga ayuda program or sa mga special activities to be able to sustain the day-to-day activities of the government or to be able to have subsidy or para makatulong sa mga tao na nawalan ng work. So, yun yung mga yon. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kapag may allotment na, meron ng authority para mag-transact si government. Now, ano naman yung obligation? So, alam natin from our obligation and contract, ito yung mga dapat ng bayaran. So, sa government, obligation is almost the same. It's a liability legally incurred and committed to be paid for the government either immediately or in the future. So, in short, obligations are also our accounts payable kapag dating sa government. So, yung mga, kaya lang kasi sa government, hindi ka pwedeng mag-incur ng obligation kapag walang allotment or walang budget. So, dahil accountability yung pinaka-ini-earn ni government, kailangan may allotment muna bago ka makapag-incur ng obligation. In the event walang allotment, tapos nag-incur siya ng obligation, hindi na yun mababayaran kasi hindi ka siya nakasama sa inalat ni government. Although, merong more rapport view or tinatawag nating negotiatorium gestio, ibig sabihin yung hindi enrich. So, bawal din yun. So, syempre, hindi naman pwedeng sabihin ni government, government ako na magbabayad. So, to protect the reputation din of the government, mabayaran pa rin yun. Kaya lang mas matagal. Kasi ito-check pa why nagawa ng why nagkaroon ng obligation ng walang pera yung government kasi bawal yun. Okay? Next, we also have the different kinds of allotment. So, ano ba yung mga different kinds of allotment? Registry of Allotment and Obligation for Capital Outlay. So, dito, nakasulat lahat ng mga allotment, yung mga pera na ina-allow ng government para sa mga infrastructures and project. So, nakalagay dito sa registry nito kung magkano ba yung allotment doon or yung money niya, tsaka kung magkano na yung obligation na na-incur ni government para saan? Para sa mga capital outlay. And we know that capital outlay, these are long-term projects of the government. So, ito yung mga infra, yung mga buildings, road, bridges. So, ibig sabihin, yung matagal na gagamitin ng mga tao as well as the government itself. Next, we also have the Registry of Allotment and Obligation for Maintenance and Other Operating Expenses. So, ito naman yung mga activities or yung mga ginagamit ni government for day-to-day activities. So, like for example, the light, the water, um, the vehicle, yung mga depreciation, kasi these are needed for the government to sustain its day-to-day operations. Next, we also have the Registry of Allotment for Personal Services. So, ito naman pertain to the government employee. Lahat ng mga natatanggap na salary, benefits, at mga iba't iba pang activity. Kasi take note, si government, ang pinaka-primary niya is service. So, meron din na para sa mga tao para ma-identify kung meron bang ghost employee. Next, we also have the registry and allotment for the financial expenses or RAUPE. Ito naman yung mga utang ni government. Kasi syempre, ang nangyari kasi sa government, hindi niya nakolekta yung kailangan niyang pera para masustain yung activities ni government or para dun sa mga iba pang projects, nangungutang sila. Just like for example, yung sa COVID ngayon, di ba? Mangungutang sila or magsosource out sila para ma-finance yung pagbili nila ng mga different vials na ipang i-inject. Pero magpapa-inject ba kayo? Okay, so yun siya. Yun yung mga registry. Dapat nakalagay doon. Now, we go to the assets of the government. Ano-ano ba yung mga assets ng government? So, syempre, we have the notice of cash allocation. So, si notice of cash allocation, ito na yung sinasabi ng government na, ito yung pera na pwedeng gastusin itong agency na to. Or ito na yung tinatawag nating allotment. Or magkakapera na sila by land bank. Kaya lang, these are only paper money. So, syempre, ang lahat kasi ng pera ng government has to go to the Bureau of Treasury. Unless otherwise, there are government or the corporate governments, yung nag-earn sila, tapos sinusustain lang nila yung day-to-day activity nila, hindi sila inaalata ng government. Kapag hindi ganon, ibig sabihin, wala silang mandate na ganon, lahat ng collection nila has to go with the Bureau of Treasury. Okay? Tapos si Department of Budget, siya yung magbabudget kung tagmamagkano yung mapupuntahan. So, walang talagang hawak na pera yung government. Ang pinakahawak lang na is yung PASMO, tsaka yung authority ng Notice of Cash Allocation telling that land bank could pay. Kasi doon na i-deposit ni Bureau of Treasury. Okay? So, ano-ano ba yan? So, we have the Notice of Cash Allocation. These are the cash authority issued quarterly by the Department of Budget to central, regional, and provincial offices and operating units to cover for the cash requirements of the agency. See? So, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga cash authority or ito na yung pera na ina-allow yung entity na to na mag-withdraw sa bangko, land bank, kasi dideposituhan ni Bureau of Treasury. So, ano ba yung mga cash ng government? We also have the cash and cash equivalent. So, si cash and cash equivalents, meron din siyang dalawa. We have the cash in bank, cash in foreign bank, cash in the local currency account, and foreign currency account. So, si local currency, ito yung mga, Ito yung mga naka-peso account. We also have the foreign, yung mga allotment. Kasi take note, separate yan kasi nga accountability tayo. So, yung method naman na ginagamit nila is just the same. Wala masyado sa cash, di ba? Alam naman natin na si cash is kung ano yung value niya, yun pa rin yung value niya. Hindi kasi siya masyado na subject sa impairment unless may hyperinflation. Next, we also have the petty cash pan. So, alam natin yung petty cash pan, di ba? These are amount given to the petty cash custodian so that hindi na kailangan mag-issue ng cheque or para masustain yung day-to-day activity. Kasi syempre, di ba, halimbawa, mag-jeep ka, hindi mo naman pwede ipangbayad kay manong driver yung check eh. So, kaya may petty cash din si government so that they would be able to sustain minimal amounts on a day-to-day basis. Tsaka isa pa may cost yung check eh. So, to minimize then the expenses of the government. So, in the private sector, we have two method, di ba? We have the fluctuating and then the Empress system. Wala namang sinasabi si standard kung ano yung dapat gamitin. Kaya lang si fluctuating, mas toxic siya kasi kailangan mo mag-record every now and then. Si Empress system, nag-record ka lang when Nag-record lang yung books talaga or yung journals natin during what? During nagre-replenish tayo. Tsaka, at the year end para ma-account talaga kung ilan yung expenses. So, yun din yung ginagamit ni government. Ang ginagamit ni government ay Empress system. So, sa under Empress system kasi, ang merong accountability nun is the cash custodian. Tapos, nagre-record lang or nagre-replenish lang siya, saka lang siya mare-reflect sa book upon replenishments. Okay? Tsaka at year end para matama yung mga amounts. Okay? So, we also have the accounts receivable ni government. So, si accounts receivable ni government, ang ginagamit nilang method kapag magkakaroon ng mga doubtful account is the aging accounts receivable. Kasi we have also three. We have the percentage of AR and then the aging and then we have the percentage of sales. Pero sabi natin, yung mas accurate was the aging of accounts receivable. Kasi habang tumatagal, bago mo makolekta, mas malaki yung risk na hindi mo na siya makokolekta. Okay? So, yung allowance for doubtful account, this is a contra-asset account for the accounts receivable. Next, usually, ang sineset up daw to estimate the uncollectible trade to allow their fair valuation. Kaya lang si government, meron siyang isang account na hindi nagde-depreciate or hindi nagkakaroon ng allowance for doubtful account. Ang tawag nila dito ay disallowance. Ito yung mga benefit na naibigay pero hindi naman authorized. Madalas nasa news kasi siya. Okay? Next, we also have the supplies. So, for the supplies, the government would normally use perpetual inventory system. So, ano ba yung perpetual? Dito ina-account natin yung supplies every now and then. Kasi usually sa private periodic kasi nga accountability. Government also used that items more than 15,000 as semi-expendable and below. So, record na siya as expense. Next, we also have the inventory account. So, si inventory, nire-record siya using the cost method and the cost of computation ang ginagamit ni government ay moving average method. Okay? Next, we also have the prepayments. So, si prepayments ang ginagamit ni government ay asset method. Next, we also have the property, plant, and equipment. So, si property, plant, and equipment, meron siyang tatlo. Ganoon din si government. We have the property, plant, and equipment if the government use this for the government operation or day-to-day activity. Investment property, kapag ang ginagamit ni government ay para kumita lang for rent, hinahayaan lang nila for accretion of wealth, nalagay siya as investment property. Pero ang ginagamit kasi walang specific. Yung ibang entity gagamit ng fair value method, yung iba naman cost method. Next, we also have the asset held for sale. So, ito yung mga asset na na-acquired, halimbawa ng land bank, tapos binibenta na nila on where is it as is its basis. So, like yung mga pag-ibig. Or yung mga na-foreclose na property that are held for sale. Next, we also have the construction asset. So, si construction asset, ito naman yung mga ginagamit natin ay long-term construction. So, si government ganun din, nire-recognize niya as cost and profit on as the completion occur. So, for the government projects contracted with outside, kapag late ng delivery, kaya nag-penalty naman sila under liquidated damages. So, any related expenses incurred during the construction of the project, pagka-during pa lang, either license, interest should now be capitalized. Pero kapag ka-after na, these are part na of your operating costs. Okay? Next, we also have the depreciation. Under the depreciation, the government use straight line method for depreciation shall be used. Pero nagsa-start lang to the second month after the purchase of the PPE. So, ibig sabihin, kapag binili mo ngayon, hindi mo pa siya i-depreciate sa susunod pang month. Okay? So, may residual value din siya na 10%. And if you like this video, help me reach out more people by hitting the subscribe button below. God bless you, and if you have questions, please comment below. Bye!